Okay, so it is now the middle of June and customers are coming in saying, did I miss the window? I didn't get my tomatoes in the ground yet. And is it too late for a vegetable garden? Answer is absolutely no. It's not too late. And especially if you're using an Earthbox. These things are amazing and we're getting lots of questions, but people are a little confused on how they work. So I want to dive in a little bit deeper because everything you put in these things explodes. So if you do not have a green thumb or you're trying to help somebody who doesn't have a green thumb do gardening, this is the easiest way to go in, especially if you turn around and go on vacation for a week or 2 weeks at a time and you're sick of coming home to dead plants. You want to pay attention to this video. Okay, so what is an Earthbox? An Earthbox is a complete kit that is designed to put a self-watering garden system that works for either window boxes or for deep roots like carrots and such, or just really anything. You can use these things for flowers, you can use them for vegetables, doesn't matter. It's a self-contained unit. All you do once it's set up is add water, and that is it. And so let me show you how it works, and then we'll go take a look of a sample already planted up. Okay, so I've been doing this a long time, and since then they've expanded the system. But this is fundamentally what's going inside every single one of these containers. So we have square ones that are self-contained for like carrots or maybe even potatoes, deep root items, because the box is deeper. The traditional Earthbox is this size right here. And it's a decent sized container. And this will allow you to actually grow 2 tomatoes. But they've really dumbed down the system. This is a side profile. So down at the bottom, there's a reservoir for water. It's a black tube that all you do is pour your water inside here. When the reservoir that goes the whole length of this kit gets filled, water will stop pouring out the bottom. So you cannot overwater this system. Then they actually even give you a handy little recipe inside the instructions that tells you how many plants to plant in here per selection of plant. So if they're tomatoes, you would just do 2, and it'll show you exactly where to plant them. If it was marigolds or something small, maybe you can do 10, and it would show you the grid on how to do it. But it's kind of this false bottom in the bottom. It keeps the potting soil away from the water down at the bottom because we don't want the roots in the bottom of the plant to rot. Water will then, through capillary action, just weep up and keep this water soil at a perfect moist condition. So the key with the Earthbox is once you set it up, just don't fertilize, don't do anything special to it. It comes with a kit of, I want to say it's dolomitic to adjust the pH of the soil, and then all of a little fertilizer pack. Comes in synthetic, which is the traditional, or the organic. So you can do either one. But all you have to do is buy the potting soil and put the potting soil in there. And so if you want organic vegetables, stick with the organic kit, the organic potting soil. And then, of course, organic vegetables. But as far as the selection, you don't have to go in this. So I have customers that'll come in and they want tropical flowering mandavillas and they want all sorts of flowers. The problem is they like to take long weekends or go away for the 4th of July. And they were tired of coming home and having plants die, especially out here in Newport and some of the windier locations that dry out really fast with traditional planters. You can grow flowers, you can grow vines, you can grow anything in these things. And the beauty is because it's self-watering and it holds so much water underneath, it is going to carry you through those dry periods a little bit longer without going and reversing on the setup itself and the plants dying because of the heat. Okay, so here's a complete setup. Currently, if you're watching this in June of 2023, they're 15% off. If you're watching this video any other time, probably not on sale anymore. But this is the setup itself. This is a two-piece kit. So basically, this down at the bottom comes in 2 or 3 different styles. This is a traditional Earthbox. The key is when you fill it with the potting soil, it's hard to tell in the picture, but the center is mounded. So that way, what this weed barrier is on top is not only is that keeping the weeds out, so the plant gets all the room it wants to grow, but also it's stopping the rain from getting down there and filling the water. We get into these dreary periods of weather where things aren't drying out, we're constantly getting moisture. You can see right here, the water will just pool up on the top and will not oversaturate the bottom in here. All we're doing is filling that tube back there with water until water's pouring out the bottom of this thing. Once that happens, I know my reservoir is full and I can go in there daily and add water to that if I want to. I'll never overwater these plants because it's self-watering. And so with this, we're going to do 2 tomatoes. And then they sell this optional trellis kit here. And so it's hard to tell in these videos and these true pictures, but these nice grids, about 6x6. I can grow tomatoes in here, and now I have something to fasten the tomatoes to, because that's the biggest problem most people have with tomatoes when growing above ground, is stabilizing them, because they're going to get massive and they're going to get heavy with all that fruit, and they need staking. The trellis kit is nice because the fact that you can fasten these right to the trellis and it'll be nice and stable. And then it's on wheels, so if you get the optional upgrade for the trellis kit, you get the wheels set up, and now I can roll it around. So you can put it in the optimal spot on your patio where it's going to get the optimal amount of sun for whatever crop you're growing. But if it's in the way when you go to entertain, you just roll it out of the way. When company leaves, you put it back. But these tomatoes have only been in here for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and they've literally already doubled in size. So nothing I have ever grown inside this. It's really optimal growing. I have one of our close friends that grows cucumbers in here, and he harvests 50 cucumbers off of the vines with this exact setup. So if you're looking for fast and simple and low maintenance, it doesn't get any easier than this. So if you're not looking for an Earthbox or something, lots of customers will do raised planters, raised bed. I'm not a big fan of traditional gardening anymore. I don't go and rototill big patches of grass and then start going through. You have all the diseases, the insects, maybe you have good soil, maybe you have bad soil. I would rather grow in containers or above ground in planters, and then I can use really good quality soil like the Coast of Maine raised bed mix. That stuff is amazing. You don't need it with an Earthbox because this is a complete kit. This, you just need a traditional potting soil. But if I'm doing a raised planter, a raised bed, the Coast of Maine raised bed mix is amazing. It's got all the goodies in there. I believe it's like kelp and the worm castings. It's just almost my definition of a perfect growing media. So you can use any containers for that. And then, but actually many times you can start off with as simple as putting down a little weed fabric, screw together some 6x6 wooden timbers, and make yourself an instant raised vegetable garden. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy, and you still have plenty of time. The season is long. Weather is all out of whack. We're harvesting sometimes well into November, because it's many times, depending on where you are, November before we even get a frost now. So don't follow the calendar, follow the weather. Still plenty of time to get out there and garden. I hope that helps. Take care.